A young kid, barely tall enough to see over the golf bag, standing on a driving range with eyes that burned with an intensity that made grown men uncomfortable. They called him a prodigy. They said he was blessed by the gods of golf. But here's what they didn't tell you: what made Tiger Woods unstoppable wasn't just talent. It wasn't luck. It wasn't even his famous swing. No. What separated Tiger from every other golfer who ever lived was something far more dangerous, far more calculated. 5 specific skills honed to absolute perfection that turned him into a predator on the course. Skills so devastating that his opponents were beaten before they even teed off. And today, you're about to discover exactly what those skills were. The secrets that transformed a California kid into the most feared competitor golf has ever seen. This is the untold story of Tiger Woods' dominance. But before we dive into these game-changing secrets, do me a favor, smash that subscribe button and hit the bell icon. Trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming next. Yes. Once you understand these 5 skills, you'll never watch golf the same way again. So let's get one thing straight from the jump. Tiger Woods didn't just play golf. He waged psychological warfare with a golf club in his hand. While other players were worried about their swing planes and grip pressure, Tiger was 3 shots ahead, playing chess while they were playing checkers. The first skill that made him absolutely unstoppable. Mental fortitude that bordered on superhuman. We're not talking about positive thinking or visualization exercises here. Tiger possessed something that sports psychologists still study to this day: the ability to completely shut out the world when it mattered most. Imagine standing over a 6-foot putt, with millions watching, knowing that missing it means losing a major championship. Your hands should be shaking. Your mind should be flooded with doubt. But Tiger, his heart rate actually decreased in those moments. That's not normal. It's not something you can teach. When he was in contention on Sunday, wearing that red shirt like war paint, something clicked inside his mind. He entered what he called the zone, a mental state where distractions ceased to exist, where pressure became fuel instead of poison. His competitors could see it in his eyes. It's that cold, calculating stare that said, "You've already lost. You just don't know it yet." Jack Nicklaus once said that Tiger's greatest strength wasn't his swing. It was his ability to raise his game when the stakes were highest. While others crumbled under pressure, Tiger thrived on it, fed on it like oxygen. But mental strength alone doesn't win 15 major championships. Which brings us to the second skill that separated Tiger from everyone else's revolutionary approach to physical fitness. Before Tiger, professional golfers looked more like your uncle at a weekend barbecue than elite athletes. They smoked cigarettes between holes, carried beer bellies, and thought walking the course was enough exercise. Tiger changed everything. He transformed golf from a gentleman's game into a gladiatorial sport. Was in the gym lifting weights when other golfers were at the 19th hole having drinks. He was running miles, doing Navy SEAL workouts, turning his body into a precision instrument designed specifically for golf dominance. His father, Earl, trained him like a soldier from childhood. Tiger could swing a club with more speed, more power, more consistency than players 20 years younger, because he understood something they didn't. Golf isn't just a game of skill. It's a game of stamina, strength, and explosive power. That physical transformation gave him a distance advantage that demoralized opponents. While they were hitting 5 irons into greens, Tiger was flipping a 9-iron with a lazy swing that said, "I'm not even trying." He could overpower courses that were specifically designed to challenge the longest hitters. Augusta National, St. Andrews, Pebble Beach tracks that were supposed to be the great equalizers became his personal playgrounds. And here's the terrifying part. When Tiger was healthy, when that body was firing on all cylinders, nobody could keep up with him physically. Nobody. The third skill? Course management that was borderline genius. People who never played competitive golf don't understand how strategic the game really is. Every shot is a calculation, wind, lie, pin position, hazard, slope, moisture in the air. It's 3-dimensional chess played across 400 acres, and Tiger was a grandmaster. His caddy Steve Williams said that Tiger saw shots that simply didn't exist for other players. He visualized ball flights with such precision that he could land a golf ball on a dinner plate from 100 yards away. But it wasn't just shot making, it was strategic patience. Tiger knew when to attack and when to play defense. He understood percentages better than a Las Vegas bookmaker. In major championships, he rarely made big mistakes because he never took unnecessary risks, unless he had to. That's the key. When Tiger needed to pull off a miracle shot, when he needed to conjure magic from thin air to win, he could. The chip in on 16 at Augusta in 2005. The bunker shot on 18 at Torrey Pines in '08. Those weren't lucky breaks. Those were calculated risks executed with surgical precision by someone who had practiced those exact shots thousands of times. He approached every course like a general studying a battlefield. Before major championships, he'd play practice rounds with one purpose: finding weaknesses in the course design. Where could he gain an advantage? Which holes could he attack? Which pins should he avoid? By the time Thursday rolled around, Tiger had already won the tactical battle. His opponents were just figuring out the course while Tiger was exploiting its vulnerabilities. Now, the fourth skill is where things get really interesting. His short game was absolutely lethal. Forget the 300-yard drives that got all the attention. Tiger won majors with his wedge and his putter. From 100 yards and in, he was as close to perfect as any golfer has ever been. His touch around the greens was supernatural. He could hit flop shots that checked up like they hit a brick wall. He could bump hand run with backspin that defied physics. And his bunker play? Forget about it. But the putter was his real weapon of mass destruction. Between 2000 and 2001, Tiger made virtually every putt he looked at from inside 15 feet. He led the PGA Tour in putting so many years that statisticians started questioning their methodology. What made his putting so devastating wasn't just the stroke hit, was his ability to read greens like he was reading a book. He saw breaks that other players missed. He understood speed control at a level that seemed almost psychic. And most importantly, he trusted his stroke completely. No second guessing, no tentative jabs. Just confident, aggressive strokes that died in the center of the cup. His competitors dreaded seeing him inside 10 feet because they knew it was basically over. Birdie every time, and in match play situations. Forget even trying to put pressure on him. Tiger thrived when putts meant something. While opponents were choking down the grip with sweaty palms, Tiger was draining bombs and staring them down afterward. That short game mastery turned good rounds into great ones, and turned great rounds into historic ones. Finally, the fifth skill, and this might be the most important one. Tiger possessed an unmatched competitive fire that bordered on obsession. This wasn't just about winning. This was about domination, complete and total annihilation of the competition. When Tiger played his best golf, he didn't just want to win, he wanted to crush souls, break spirits, and make other professionals question their career choices. Stories from the locker room paint a picture of a man who took losses personally, who remembered every slight, every doubt, every person who ever bet against him, kept receipts, and he paid them back with interest on the golf course. That killer instinct came from his father's military training. Earl Woods raised Tiger to be a champion, but more than that, to be a closer. To finish what he started, to never give an opponent hope or an opening. Tiger's record with 54-hole leads in PGA Tour events is almost perfect. When he went into Sunday with the lead, the tournament was over. Done. You could book it and go home early. 14 times he held the lead or co-led going into the final round of a major championship. He won 14 of them. That's not coincidence. That's not luck. That's a man who knew how to close the door and lock it behind him. While other players were hoping to win, Tiger was expecting to win, demanding it. And that mental difference made all the difference in the world. This competitive obsession also meant he never took his foot off the gas. Even when he was up by 7 shots, he was still hunting birdies. Even when he'd already clinched the tournament, he was still trying to shoot the lowest score possible. Because for Tiger, it wasn't enough to win. He wanted to send a message. He wanted every player in the field to go home thinking, I'm not good enough. I'll never be good enough. For over a decade, that's exactly what happened. So there, you have it. 5 skills that made Tiger Woods unstoppable. Mental fortitude that turned pressure into power. Physical fitness that revolutionized the sport. Course management that was pure strategic genius. A short game that was absolutely lethal. And a competitive fire that simply couldn't be matched. Together, these skills created a golfer who didn't just dominate his era, he transcended the sport itself. Tiger made golf cool. He made it relevant, made it matter to people who never cared about golf before. He did it by being so good, so ruthlessly efficient, so undeniably dominant that even casual fans couldn't look away. That's the real. The legacy of Tiger Woods, not just the wins, not just the records, but the standard of excellence he set that every player since has been chasing. And most of them are still running, nowhere close to catching the shadow of the man in the red shirt. On Sunday,